One of the courses I like to teach is a course on sexual exploitation of children, which is not a course that you typically find in the standard law school curriculum. So that's a course that, while I have to get through material that students need to learn, my main objective is to introduce students to this area of the law that they don't normally view as an area in which they can practice. So in a lot of ways, try to do things that make them interested in, or more importantly, passionate about helping sexually exploited children, sharing my experiences and my insights, and my expertise, and showing them how they can go about doing that in their practice and in their careers. There's nothing more rewarding than having a student come to me and say, you know, Professor, I never thought I'd want to practice in this area of the law until I took your course. And now I think that's what I want to do. I want to help children. My practice area was in family law, specializing in children and custody issues, children's health issues, and primarily issues of sexual abuse and neglect or sexual exploitation. And I did that for a while in practice, and I've been teaching that for 25 years now. And really what keeps me inspired and motivated is the students when they share their experiences and their insights. I'm never teaching the same course twice because I'm always learning from my students a different perspective, a different experience, something I hadn't thought of, something I hadn't been through. The more students that take the course, the more enriching the course becomes for the students who take it next and for me. Sexual exploitation of children is a global problem, particularly with how we're postured in technology. It's so accessible to everyone who perpetrates these behaviors. And unfortunately, it's very much probably underreported and underestimated. But what is good is that as I continue to teach the course, and I've designed the course and my casebook so that students will want to carve out a part of their practice. There are certain areas of this problem that Arkansas has kind of taken the lead in responding to. I mean, that's the goal for my students, is to learn how can I work in the law to reconcile these problems. Things like investigating or identifying online predators, finding and collecting evidence of child pornography online. Arkansas legislatively is a little bit ahead of the curve in terms of how we need to respond to these things collectively to make a difference. Most students and most people in general think sexual abuse is about, you know, someone lurking in the bushes waiting to snatch children away. In fact, 85% of sexual abuse cases begin with the victim knowing their perpetrator. It happens in the home, it happens with relatives, it happens with people we know and trust. And so one of the goals in my course is to get students to be open-minded and to change their perspective about how they view and what they think of sexual exploitation, and how they can learn to collect evidence, how they can learn to interview children, how they can learn how to put on expert testimony. Child sexual abuse accommodation syndrome. Why do children tend to not disclose that they've been abused? Why do they always retract their statements? Why do they give conflicting statements? It is becoming more of a science of studying all these categories and characteristics. And that's what I'm hoping to convey to my students. I am convicted that this is a subject area that needs to be taught at every law school in the country, if nothing more than to introduce students to the reality and the scope of the problem, and to realize that it's an area where they can contribute. I'm grateful every single day that I come to work to be able to do research in this area, and to be able to have an opportunity to share my research and my experiences with my students. I'm always grateful to the university for providing that opportunity, and I'm always grateful for my students who are willing or interested to take the course and who appreciate and respect my insights on it. You can't do the work that you thrive on doing without the assistance and support of the university and the other faculty and most importantly, the students.